If you're building AI right now or have already shipped it, there are 3 things that are coming for you: a breach, a regulator, or a lawsuit. Because 1 in 5 companies have already been breached through their AI. I spent 30 years auditing systems for Fortune 500 companies, and I'm telling you, AI is the most under-secured technology businesses run today. Skip AI governance and you're playing Russian roulette with getting hacked and business ending fines. So let's make sure that that doesn't happen to you or anyone else. I'll give you the 10 most important governance questions to ask, and these will protect you from the attacks happening right now and the legal exposure most companies don't even know exists. I'm Nathan from StationX. We have over 500,000 customers who rely on our AI and security advice. So let's dig in. Question number 1. Are you defending against prompt injection? Prompt injection is OWASP's number 1 security risk for AI right now. So if you're going to do anything, look at this. And if attackers exploit it on your AI, they can leak your data. They can execute commands on your systems and your servers potentially. They can effectively burn down a business overnight. So here's what to do today, this week. Pick your highest value AI app or apps and try to jailbreak it using real attack types. I've got a free prompt injection tool on StationX. All the info's there, free, no email required. Link is in the description. All you need to do, copy, paste prompts into your AI and see what fools the AI. And whatever breaks it, that's what you should prioritize to fix. The full defense to prompt injection is input validation, prompt separation, tool restrictions, etc. And for details on all that, you can see the AI Governance Playbook that I've created for you, which is totally free. Link in the description there as well. And that will help you with all of this. So a good answer to this question sounds like we do red team for prompt injection. We do model extraction and inversion attacks quarterly. We have inputs that are validated. Systems and user prompts are separated. Rate limits are enforced. So that's what you want to hear. Now, a bad answer sounds like, what's prompt injection? So even with the best injection defenses, if everyone has access to everything, attackers don't need to be that clever. So that gets us to question 2. Do you have access control on your AI? Now, 97% of organizations that are breached through AI lack proper access controls. 97%. That's basically everybody. So when that goes wrong, attackers walk straight in to your data, your customer records, your trade secrets, whatever, without having to really do much. Microsoft's Copilot, we've got EchoLeak. So that EchoLeak vulnerability, it proved it. That was the first zero-click AI exploit in production. 1 email, no clicks, and an attacker exfiltrated everything the user could see on the OneDrive, on SharePoint, and Teams. So real bad news. So here's what we do today, this week. Pick again your highest value AI system or systems. List every human and service account, that's important, with access and what each one actually needs to do. And I'm talking also about what can the AI access itself. You then need to enforce what's called least privilege. Each identity gets only the permission required for its job, nothing more. That's least privilege, and nobody's doing it. So a good answer to this question sounds like least privilege is enforced, API keys are rotated, AI agents have separate policies from humans, and we audit access on a monthly basis. A bad answer sounds like everyone or everything has access to everything. Now, that's a bad answer, and it's a very common one as well. Hit the like and subscribe for for more AI governance and security breakdowns like this that you don't want to miss out on. Access controls only protect what you know exists, and most companies don't know what they're actually running. So that's a big problem too. So that gets us to question 3. Do you have an AI inventory? 1 in 5 organizations has been breached through an AI tool that nobody approved. This is known as shadow AI. So shadow AI breaches cost $670,000 more than the average type of regular attack. And they take, on average, according to the reports, 247 days to detect. The inventory is the foundation for every other question that's in here. So here's what to do today, this week. Send an email out to every team lead or team member, and you want reply with every AI tool your team is using. Get that answer back from them, and including the ones that you signed up for personally, include that, ask them for that. Now that's how you find what's actually running. Put the list in a spreadsheet or wherever you want it. There's one linked in the governance playbook below. Classify each entry by what data it accesses and what decisions it makes, so you know which ones are about to blow up or can potentially blow up. Then commit to reviewing it straight away and reviewing it regularly. No new shadow AI gets caught before it costs you $670,000 or more. So what's a good answer to this question? It would be something like, we have a central AI register. Every tool is risk classified and we review it quarterly. Now, a bad answer sounds like we probably use a few. So you've got to know what you've got in order to be able to protect it. Now, you know what you have, but what's coming out of it? That gets us to question 4. Do you have output guardrails? Because without output guardrails, your AI can leak customer data, fabricate legal commitments, or trash your brand in front of millions. DPD's own chatbot called the company the worst delivery firm in the world and wrote haiku about its own incompetence. And the BBC ran the story. It went everywhere. That was a chatbot with 5 minutes of free time and 1 bored customer. Here's what to do today. Build a kill switch. 1 button that disconnects your AI from production. Test it works. If it doesn't, fix that before anything else on the list. Then add 2 filters. 1 that blocks personal data leaking out. 1 that catches obvious hallucinations on high stakes output. A good answer to this question sounds like we filter outputs for personal identifiable information. We score confidence on every response, and we have a tested kill switch. A bad answer sounds like we hope it doesn't have hallucinations, but we don't really know. But you can't react to what you can't see. Question 5. Are you monitoring your AI? Because breaches involving AI tools that nobody approved takes 247 days to detect on average. That's 8 months. 8 months where attackers can exfiltrate your data, manipulate your outputs, or poison your models while you have no idea anything is wrong. And 68% of breached organizations don't even have an AI governance policy. So here's what to do this week. Turn on logging for every prompt and every response, input and output, every single call. You need the data trail when something goes wrong. Then set 1 alert. Flag any prompt that contains words like ignore previous instructions or repeat the text above. Those two phrases catch the lowest effort injection attempts from day one. And you'd be shocked how often those prompt injections actually work. A good answer to this question sounds like: we log every prompt and response, we monitor for drift, and we alert on injection patterns. A bad answer sounds like: we check the dashboard sometimes. So, quick pause. If you want to actually run this seriously and run AI seriously, then that's what the AI Governance Playbook is for that I've mentioned. So that's got the 10 questions. It's got them expanded into 50 sub-questions, each with what good looks like, how to fix it, and links to the authoritative sources. And it's totally free. So you can get that at app.stationx.net. Check it there below. Okay, back to the questions. Question 6, still very important. Do you have an incident response plan? Because 46% of companies have no AI-specific incident response plan. When AI gets compromised, you can't just restore from backup. A poison model can keep lying for weeks. Security researcher Johan Reberger proved it on Google Gemini in February 2025. False information injected once persisted across every future session forever until someone manually found it. So here's what you can do this week. Take your current IR incident response plan, add a new section for AI compromise. Write at least 4 lines in it. Who gets called, how you take the model offline, how you roll back, and how you tell the users. Then run a 30-minute tabletop. If you can't execute in 30 minutes, fix that. So what does a good answer sound like to this question? It's something like: we have AI-specific procedures for model compromise, data poisoning, and a hallucination liability. We tabletop quarterly. And a bad answer sounds like: our IR plan covers everything, vague and nothing specific. Your incident response will fail fast if the AI components you didn't build are compromised before you even deployed them. Another important one, question 7, is your AI supply chain secured? Because 62% of organizations have no way to tell where LLMs are even running across their company. Every AI vendor you use is part of your attack surface. And if your vendor leaks, you leak. In early 2024, researchers showed thousands of custom GPTs leaking their system prompts, instructions, and API keys. Anyone who typed a prompt injection, which was just simply repeat the text above. That was the whole attack. So here's what to do this week. Open a spreadsheet. List every AI vendor and model that you use. And for each one, ask 3 questions. Who trained this? What data did they use? And what happens to my data when it touches them? Then if you can't answer all 3 for any vendor, then they don't belong in production yet. So what's a good answer to this? You want to be hearing something like: every AI vendor is in our third-party risk register with model provenance documented, training and RAG data sources vetted for poisoning and audit rights in the contract, etc. And a bad answer sounds like: we just use whatever's in the OpenAI marketplace. So vetting your vendors is technical work, but none of it gets done if nobody is accountable. Okay, question 8, another super important one. Who owns AI security and who has authority to override the AI when it gets it wrong? Did you know 74% of organizations have only weak or limited AI governance in place? That's probably why you're watching this video. So when AI causes harm, the lawsuits, they don't care that you don't have an owner. When Air Canada's chatbot invented a refund policy that didn't exist. The airline tried to argue the chatbot was some sort of separate legal entity. Yeah, I don't think so. The tribunal said no, the judge said no. You are legally responsible for what the AI says. And under EU AI Act Article 14, high-risk AI must be designed so a human can step in and stop it. So here's what you want to do this week. Pick one named person, not a committee, not the security team, one person whose performance review depends on AI security. Then write a 5-line RACI, R-A-C-I. Who decides what AI gets deployed? Who reviews it? Who responds when it breaks? And who has the authority to override or pause the AI when it makes a high-stakes decision? So a good answer to this question, therefore, means you want to hear something like, our Chief Information Security Officer owns it. The RACI is signed. Legal, data science, and product all have a seat. And for any high-impact decision, a named human reviewer can override the AI before the output goes live. Now, a bad answer sounds like it's kind of shared between IT and engineering. So ownership is the foundation, but ownership doesn't help if you can't explain what the AI is actually doing. And that gets us to question 9. Have you tested for biases? And can you explain why the AI made any given decision? AI hiring tools are facing lawsuits, fines, and the EEOC enforcement right now. The first AI hiring discrimination settlement landed way back in 2023. AI Tutor Group paid $365,000 after its algorithm auto-rejected over 200 applicants for being older than 40. And under GDPR, anyone affected by an automated decision has a right to a meaningful explanation of how it was made. So here's what you want to do this week. If your AI touches hiring, lending, or healthcare, pull the last 1,000 decisions that it made. Break the outcomes down by gender, ethnicity, age. Look for gaps. Then pick any single decision. Can you explain it in plain English? Why did the AI react? Why did it answer in that way? If you can't, neither can a regulator or a judge. So a good answer to this question sounds like we test against 4 protected characteristics. Every quarter, we publish a model card for every production system. And for any individual decision, we can produce a plain English explanation. And a bad answer to this sounds like the vendor handles all that for us. Bias and explainability are part of compliance, and compliance is where most companies haven't even started checking, and that's where the fines are as well. So question 10, final question, still very important. Are you prepared for AI regulation? Because this is a big one. And do you know what data your AI was trained on? Because right now, your AI could be earning your company up to 35 million euro fines under the EU AI Act. And if it touches hiring in New York, it's already illegal unless you've done a bias audit. And if your model was trained on personal data without a lawful basis under GDPR, that's a separate fine on top. Most companies have done none of these checks at all. So here is what to do this week against these very serious situations. So open a spreadsheet, list every AI system that you've built or deployed, and for each one, write down 4 things: what data it touches at runtime, what data it was trained on, what decisions it makes, and which regions it operates in. That's your regulatory exposure map. Or grab the one I've already built in the AI Governance Playbook, link in the description, as I've said. So a good answer to this sounds like we've mapped every AI system, classified the high-risk ones under the EU AI Act, documented training data provenance and lawful basis under GDPR, and legal signed off last quarter. And a bad answer sounds like, I think marketing might be using ChatGPT. So those are the 10 most important questions. Get all right, and you're in the top 1% literally of AI security maturity. But auditing AI that was built carelessly is a losing battle. AI-driven engineering is the future of how AI systems will be built. If you're building AI or any system, you need to know about AI-driven engineering, and that's the next video for you.